Up next, we have Beatrice Bonini from the Political Science Department, who will present Influencers in Politics, Understanding Political Activism in the Era of Social Media.
Have you ever paid attention to what people are looking at while scrolling on their phones, let's say on the subway? Well, I have, and I know that's not proper etiquette, but reality is I've always been interested in what shapes people's views, especially on political matters. And this is what led me to study political preferences and social media. A crucial topic in political science is the issue of media effects and persuasion. Today, social media networks have given rise to a new figure, namely the social media influencers. According to marketing scholars, influencers affect followers' purchasing decisions. But survey data show that people seem to trust influencers on social issues as well. Political scientists have also analyzed the increasing political disengagement, especially among young adults. So in my project, I question whether the influencers' political activity on social media impacts the way younger generations conceive themselves as political animals. And I argue that the political influence of influencers is a new key factor that shapes the political identity of the so-called TikTok generation. I developed a formal model that explains that influencers' personal economic interests will drive their decision to go political, thus making sense of why, for example, fashion bloggers might talk about feminism, but not about women's working conditions within the fashion industry. Essentially, influencers prime followers, telling them what they should think and care about. On the user side, the psychological and social pressures mechanisms typical of social media encourage followers in engaging in online political participation, for example, by sharing some political content on their accounts, at the expenses of offline, less visible political participation, such as showing up at the ballot box. I also posit that followers will be more influenced by personalities that are perceived as authentic, real, relatable, and I will use observational and experimental data to test this hypothesis. In sum, by combining social media content data with data on political behavior, my research will help parties, governments, NGOs in building more effective communication strategies. But most importantly, my study will lead us to a better understanding of how the Gen Z and millennials interpret their role within the political sphere. And it will allow us to shed light on the future of political and electoral participation, both in the virtual and in real life. Thank you.